What's going on, everybody? Fedor here from 3D Print SOS. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've said that because I've been working on this. Been working on the studio down here in my basement, redoing everything and just making it a better space for me to be in, better space for me to make these videos in. And in today's video, I kind of want to introduce you to what I've been working on, what I've been trying to create, and kind of the reasons for it all, and kind of just go over all of the upcoming things that I have for the channel. And I want to hear from you guys. Let me know if there's something that I'm showing that you guys are excited about. I have a lot of cool machines to show off, a lot of cool projects to do throughout the year. And I just kind of want to get through a couple things in this video just for the studio, just to get it kind of rolling. Because as you can tell behind me, there's no printers yet. Everything is just put away into a different room. I need to get it all out here. So there's just a couple things I want to do, like for example, some shelving that I just cut up some wood for, and I put some paint on it. I'll show you guys once I get the camera off the tripod. And I've been printing some brackets that I found on Printables. Awesome design. I'll have a link for these things down below. But I took out the biggest machine I had, which can barely fit here in this space, and that is the Magician Pro by Mingda. And this thing printed out these, and what this is it's basically a shelf bracket that I'll be mounting to the wall, and the hexagon pattern in here is actually a way to mount different things, which is really cool that it has this dual use. Now, as you can see by the spool here, this was not only a pretty big print, but as far as filament goes, but I wanted to make sure this holds some weight so I can display some 3D prints right above the machines over there. So these things are nice and stout. And the print came out just unbelievable. This is just regular black PLA Plus by 3IIDMax, as always, as well as nozzles that 3IIDMax sells. This is the diamondized nozzle that are chromed and non-stick polymer coated. They have a 3-year warranty, and I threw in a 0.6mm nozzle. Although admittedly, I think for this machine, just the fact that it's sheer 400 by 400 by 400 size, I think a 0.8 or a 1mm size nozzle would just be absolutely perfect match for this thing. So 18 hours to print almost a full spool. Obviously, there's machines that can do that better, but not with this volume. I can easily fit all 4 on here. I could technically probably shove more on here if I really wanted to. And I think this thing is really unique. I think this machine gets slept on actually quite a bit. It's not only massive, it's really well built. It has these braces on it. Everything is metal. You can use a full SD, USB-C, or just regular USB. It has a decent touchscreen. The interface is really nice. It's really quiet in operation. You can actually have this near you without it irritating you, which is just really, really nice. It's a good machine. You guys should check it out. I did one of my first live feeds that I did on this channel was getting this thing out of the box, and I haven't really used it that much since, but I can totally see the value in having a 400 machine just at your disposal, so that when you need to print something big, if you need to print something big, this thing can handle it. And it obviously prints really, really well. The quality is really nice. But it's also sitting on this table. I got this tabletop from IKEA. This is actually an island for a kitchen. It was extremely affordable in comparison to most other tabletops that I was looking at, and this thing is big. I can't reach it in any dimension, which is really nice. And the point of this was that I wanted to be able to build things on here, do projects on here, and have enough space to do so, and I think that's working out really well. The one thing I want to work on is I want to attach it to the wall into some studs, because the legs that I chose for it are still just a hair wobbly, which I'm not a big fan of. I basically have 5 telescopic legs that I installed underneath of this thing. I know obviously as a tabletop for a kitchen, for an island, this was never meant to have legs. It was kind of meant to be on a cabinet system, so I get it. And it is really, really heavy for a tabletop. But it is what it is. It's really nice. It was really inexpensive. I love the texture, and that's just what you guys can see here in front of me. So like I said, the objective is for me to show you everything I got. So let me get you off of the tripod and let me show you what I have going on here. Come on. Alright, so let's jump under the table first. I kind of want to show you these legs. I haven't removed any stickers. Keep in mind, I'm still working on this whole place. There's tools and parts everywhere. But one of the things that I did down here is to get the height that I wanted, I actually ended up printing some spacers for the top of these legs. These are called Olaf legs, and they extend really far, but I still wanted it to be kind of high. And I needed just a little bit of boost. So here they are mounted, standard IKEA style. However, they're on some spacers. I printed them really stout as well, and some 3DMax PLA Plus. So that's how the table is currently mounted. And I think what I want to do with that is just to avoid a cabling disaster. I'm going to put in some holes into the table in various spots so that if I need to plug in a printer, I don't have to run a wire all the way out there, have it in the shot. I could just drop it down into the hole. I'm going to be mounting a large power strip underneath the table, so I'll just be able to drop any plugs and plug everything in that I want. And then I'm going to mount this table to the wall itself, so that it just has the least amount of movement. And then what I want to do is I want to work on some 3D printable storage underneath it here. I just think it'll be a fun project. Obviously I can build something out of wood. But this is generally the view that you are going to be seeing a lot more of, hopefully. So let me get you over there and show you what I got going on back there. Alright, so this is kind of the main working area right here where I will have printers. I have LED strips right there that I used to have mounted. I'm going to mount them a little bit differently this time, but this is all going to be well lit. I'm going to have storage bins on the bottom there, just like you see. I have a bunch of 3DMax ABS filament that just came in, some of which I will give away in a live feed. I have a bunch of other giveaways, by the way, that are going to come up. They're going to be in live feeds. I think it's going to be the easiest way for me to manage all of that stuff without scammers in the comments. By the way, completely avoid those. I will never do that. You'll only know if there's a contest or winning in a video with me saying it out of my mouth, and never in a comment or anything like that. But my plan is to have bins like this to hold some filament. I have a lot more going on over here. I'll show you that side in a second. But what I want here is not only some machines, the ones that I'm currently looking at or using the most. I'll have 2 rows of them like I typically do. And I have a little mark right there. This is where I'm going to be putting the shelving. And there's a unique angle here. That's why I had to cut this out. This is actually painted right now with some black paint to match the wall. And this wood I got from here. This was the main part of the project that took the longest. This, as you might remember, used to be a display wall with a shelving unit that was like built into the wall. And the problem I had with it was 2 things. One, it took up a ton of space. This floor that's over here, this was actually kind of like a built-in seating thing that was there, and I never found a good use for it. It just ended up collecting things, which was always a problem. And then they also used the beams that went upward as actual structural pieces here. And then the third thing was the shelving that they had literally installed and mounted permanently was blocking the breakers. So anytime I had to do anything with the breakers, I had to take everything off the shelving. I had to remove the shelf. I had to open the doors. It was such a hassle. So I ended up tearing all of that down, and I used most of the wood to build framing for this wall. I drywalled that piece. I ran wiring to a new switch section over there, ran some power and lighting so we can have this cool ambiance and give us more space. I got at least 3 feet of space. What I did lose, though, is some shelving. So hopefully when this paint dries, I'll install them, and that will give me some space to still showcase some cool 3D prints. I had some interesting ideas for this wall. I thought about maybe doing a TV. I thought maybe doing a fake window to cover that. But I think what I want to do is just have my logo somewhat large on that wall, and that will be that at least for a while. All right, so on this wall, as you can see, I have some shelving here. Most of this is extremely temporary until I get this wall set up. But the idea here is this is going to house some filaments, some upcoming projects that are going to be staging in this area. On this wall, I want to print some hexagonal wall mounts for the wall. I'll have a link down in the description for Printable's link for those. They're printable, so it's going to be fun to print things while I'm testing machines and be able to use them. I think I'm going to have some there and some over here next to my work area, so I can mount some things and tools and such. But this area here, I just put this here for now because I have no other space for it at the moment. But this is where I'm going to have all of my upcoming projects and products so that they're here, they're a reminder, they're not in another room and away. And that way I can show, you know, the companies that I accepted these from that they're in the queue, I'm working on them. So a bunch of stuff. I have ASA down there from 3DMax to try. They have a brand new ASA and a brand new ABS line that I need to check out right over here. So I'll be definitely testing those and checking that out. So this is generally just the space here. It needs a little bit more lighting. Like I said, I have LEDs to set up, things along those lines, but I am really happy with getting this space kind of back and making it look the way I wanted. This is still a giant disorganized mess, and it will be for a little while. I'm going to have some more machines in this area, and my board game collection over here is going to get blocked in some way, shape, or form. I don't know how yet. Basically, it helps me split this room kind of in two, so that's why that bookshelf is there. But so far, just generally, I'm really happy with this. One other thing in this area is I installed some LED panels, so these are really great. I can modulate them. This one is on right here. And I just really like the way that the output of the light comes on. I can turn them up higher, I can turn them down, I can change the color of them. They're just really convenient. They don't hum, they're very quiet. And those were one of the best things that I did in the basement so far. All right, let me take you right over here where I have all of my upcoming projects, and let me show you what I got coming. All right, so we're in this mess of a room right now where all these machines are collected here because they need to go back into there once that project is done. I have a bunch of 3D printables that I'd like to put on that shelf, etc., etc. But amongst all these machines here that I got to get out of this room as soon as I can are some things that are coming in. For example, we have here the FLSun Super Racer, and I'm going to be sure to try to put in the companies that are sending me these things right over here somewhere in this area, just so that you guys have a better idea of where I'm getting these from. But that is the FLSun Super Racer, a Delta machine. Really excited to check that out. It should be a nice intro for me personally into Delta machines. I've never had one of those before. Right over here, there is a Flying Bear Go 6. This is a really affordable Core XY machine. And that is another one that I really need to check out because that is probably the lowest entry point at the moment for all-enclosed Core XY machines. So that's a really good one, really fun one that we're planning on getting to. We have a Snapmaker 2.0 right over here. Probably needs no introduction. Probably one of the highest qualities in terms of machines out there. However, you know, the unique part is that it also has a laser module, a CNC module, or a router module, and it's a 3D printer. So there's so much to unpack there. I'm probably going to start with the routing on there, and then we'll move on to the other ones because obviously I have enough experience with 3D printing. The other ones are the most interesting to me, and the fact that you can do it all on one machine is just something really special. There's a new Mingda machine right over here that we'll get to at some point. Haven't had the chance to look at that yet, but we'll get there. Right over here, something really interesting as well. This is the CB1 Adapter by QidiTech. This is a really cheap way, a nice entry way to get into Clipper. Definitely going to be checking this out. If you guys are interested in clipperizing your Aquila, I know there's a lot of videos on that already on how to do it, but maybe an evaluation between these three things here would be really nice. So we have here the affordable option. Then we have an FLSun speeder pad, and this is basically kind of like an iPad style tablet that you can use to add Clipper onto your machine, and the Creality equivalent, the Sonic pad. So these are three really easy kind of all-inclusive ways to get Clipper onto a machine. These two having screens and being able to do multiple machines, and this one being a lot more manual, however, and more traditional, I guess, in the way of kind of like a Raspberry Pi alternative. However, the price point is just really low and easy to get into. All right, let's get to the other side. All right, so on this side, we have this massive crate. There's very little information about this, but the specs that I got from the company seem almost too good to be true and are definitely going to rival some of the fastest Core XY machines out there at the moment. You know exactly who I'm talking about. So this is probably going to be the first machine we're going to get to because, in my personal opinion, this is by far the most exciting. Then on here we have some really interesting filament by Amolen. Now they make a bunch of transition filament. This one goes from silver to black. There's some color tri-extrusion filaments in here that are 3 different colors depending on angles you look at, and these are definitely exciting colors when you're trying to make things for displays, for example. Anyway, moving on from there, we have a label maker that I bought myself that takes these little labels. You can hook this up to your phone, and you can make labels. I plan on organizing a lot of what's back there that I showed you earlier with that right here. And then probably one of the most important things that's happening to the channel, yes, that is the VoxLab Aquila with the Ender extender on it. This is waiting for one more bigger piece that I need to get done. There's actually an entire bin right there that's just mostly parts for this machine, but I have to kind of put this on the back burner to get through some of these boxes, but I promise you that I will at some point get back to it. There's so much exciting stuff happening in 3D printing and so many cool machines. The one of them being the one that this thing is sitting on. This is actually a Voron Trident kit by FLSun. And I'm really excited for this one. Obviously, I'm going to have to build it. I'm probably going to have to do a whole series on it. I'm likely going to do this in a live feed because it is going to take several days, if not weeks, for me to even start putting this together. They also sent me the multi-filament, multi-material system, the carrot feeder back there, which we'll get to at some point. So as you can see, there's just a sea of things to do on this channel. I'd love to hear from you guys. What are you most excited about? Is it something like this where it's fast, probably going to be a little bit pricey, we'll see what the price ends up being, or is it something like this? This is the best of the best, the Voron Trident. I can't wait to get to print this, and actually I chosen the color for it. I was going to do something fancy, but I chose to do a transparent filament, transparent black filament. I'm going to call this thing Smoke. Let me show you that real quick. So right over here by PolyPrinter, this is the company name, they went ahead and sent me 2 rolls of their transparent black ABS. So this is going to be the color that I'm going to use for that Voron kit. I'm going to make it just all black and using this transparent black color, which I've been looking for forever, and I've never been able to find a company that has done it right. The few PLAs that I have seen have really horrible reviews about just quality control and whatnot. So I'm excited that this is ABS and I actually get to use it for something. I'm not taking the roll out because you can't actually tell while it's in the spool that it's too transparent, but the photos of the stuff that I have seen directly from PolyPrinter look really good. So lots of exciting things. Let me get back to the desk. Alright, so as you can see, I actually got the shelf up, and here's how I did that. Alright, so as you can see, the shelf is up, and I have a lot of 3D printed parts to put on it, including all of my 3D benchies since I started 3D printing. Every single time I've ever got a new filament, I have always printed at least one benchy, and I've held on to them over all of this time. So I'm going to keep that tradition going, and I'm going to use that shelf back there to display some of that. So as you guys saw in this video, I know I kind of went fast. I know there's a lot, and I know it's not necessarily the most exciting thing. It's not like a fun project with something, you know, tangible at the end or something where I taught you anything. But I feel like you guys have been really patient and waiting, you know, for me to show you guys something, show you what I've been doing. So I kind of wanted to put this together beforehand. One other thing that I have coming as soon as I can is finally some closure to the direct drive battle. Season 2. I went ahead and graded all of those machines. I put it all in my document, so I'm going to make a video just as soon as I get this done in a few days and kind of give you guys all of that, because some really interesting things happened with the scores there and all those machines that we had in the direct drive battle. A playlist should be popping up somewhere above me here where if you're interested in checking out some of those machines, it was a really fun thing to do, and I'm definitely looking forward to doing that in the future. And like I said before, when I was showing you everything I had over there piled up, I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you're excited about something really specific here, let me know, because I'll probably push that towards the front. And I would just like to thank all of the companies that have not only bared with with me through this process of me doing this, but also have been super patient in, you know, sending me stuff and not expecting anything back. And on that note, I do want to mention, in case you're new here or you just don't know how I do things, but I don't take any payment from any company that sends me a product. I don't want to be paid for a review. If they're going to send me a product, I would all I ask for in return is just to give me the ability to make a review on it by myself. I don't want any predetermined lines or scripts or anything along those lines. I don't do any kind of scripting on this channel at all. So that's why I'm saying thank you for their patience, because some of these companies have been trying to hear an update for me for months, and I just, you know, I'm doing this, trying to make this better for everyone, so I just haven't been able to get to any of those things. But I'm really excited to showcasing some of that stuff, because I do think that everything that I have here that's lined up for the channel is actually really exciting or important in some way, shape, or form, and I'll continue that theme as we go forward. I also plan on getting back to the Aquila in some way, shape, or form. I have a few things up my sleeve for that, so if you have joined this channel because of the VoxLab Aquila and other VoxLab machines, you know, don't fret. I will definitely touch upon that in some way, shape, or form. Okay, guys, I think that's all for me today. As always, I will see you in the comments, and well, be sure to check out some of these videos that are about to pop up. All right, later.